Good afternoon, I'm Casey from Custom Cylindrical LLC. Here we have a reproduction of the OSS M1 Carbine. So this was originally a prototype designed during the war. There were only about 5 of these made in Britain. You'll notice that this is different from most other M1 carbines in that we have a suppressor which is integral to the barrel and goes all the way to the receiver itself. So normally in an M1 carbine you would have a gas block that prevents you from doing that. This particular prototype took a different design approach by removing that gas block and doing a couple special modifications to enable that suppressor to be mounted all the way up to the receiver. So with this, you eliminate the ability to have semi-automatic fire, but what you gain is considerable internal volume and the ability to cool those gases as they expand inside the suppressor, so giving you a more effective reduction in terms of noise from your shots. So for the M1 carbine in its traditional role, obviously that wouldn't be desirable, right? We would want to have semi-automatic fire, but the intent of this weapon would have been to serve in a special purpose role, much like the Delisle carbine. So the fact that it's single shot only, this is actually a benefit in those roles. You minimize any action noise, you retain your cartridge inside the breech, and you enable yourself to have that really effective suppression that this particular design can give you. So why didn't this prototype actually go into production during the war? There's not a whole lot of documentation out there to explain why those decisions were made, but I suspect at that late point in the war, when you had a operationally tested Delisle carbine probably filling a similar role to where this would have gone, there may not have been much of a desire to expand production of a new weapon when we already had something that worked pretty well. And then there's some additional details as to why the M1 carbine wasn't a great suppressor host back then. For one, the GI barrel twist rate was 1 in 20, so the ability to slow down heavier weight bullets was probably not going to be there. You wouldn't be able to stabilize if you were able to somehow custom load your ammunition to be subsonic or bleed off the gases internally until you actually drop that velocity down. It just wouldn't be able to stabilize. The GI ball ammo itself was pretty lightweight, 90 grain, and then the actual rounds were about 2,000 feet per second. Again, not a great scenario where you'd want to be suppressing that rifle, but we've kind of applied a little bit of different thinking to that original design, improved some things, making it a little more feasible to serve as a suppressed weapon and as a viable design. So what we did was we started out with a 300 blackout barrel blank, rechambered it into 30 carbine and fitted it up to the M1 carbine itself. In this rifle, you've got a 7-inch long barrel, and then your suppressor internals match up with that. This is a titanium bodied can, weighing in at 17 ounces. The internals are aluminum and 17.4 stainless to get weight down as much as possible, in order to actually make it feasible to fire well with the ammunition. Instead of using traditional GI ball, we're using Hornady 135 grain FTX with a custom load, and I'll post that data for everyone's consumption. But this enables us to shoot a bullet very similar in performance to that of a 9mm 147 grain subsonic. So performance-wise, I think we've brought this rifle up to spec and enabled it to be a successful design. We're excited about producing these. It's been a project that's taken about a year long. We're going to continue to refine our designs. This is a pre-production prototype, but you'll see it go up on Gunbroker, so maybe somebody will have a chance to own this one. So I'm gonna go and show you guys a quick test fire so you can get a sense of what the suppression sounds like. Good afternoon, Casey, Custom Cylindrical LLC, doing a test fire of the OSS M1 Carbine reproduction. Sounds pretty good.